let's just recap. We had an account of sexual immorality between weird, stupid teenagers. We had a covenant that was broken upon a promise that never happened. We had murder on the first, second, third, fourth account. We had theft. We had kidnapping. And then all this is the excuse that, no, we had to do that because they dealt with my sister as a harlot, despite the fact that she went there first. Shalom, yo.
Shalom. Fancy seeing you here once again.
Good evening, everybody. Good morning, whatever.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a blessing. Baruch Hashem Yahuah.
Yahuáh.
Today's a very special day, Yoshi.
Why is that?
Today's episode 12.
Dang it. Already?
12. Episode 12, man. We're full steam ahead.
Consistent. Being
you know
consistent.
what I mean? Yahushua had 12 disciples. This is episode 12. There's 12 months in a year.
One for each tribe of Yisrael.
One for each tribe. So it's a big day, Yoshi. I need you to put your big day pants on.
All right. I got a big day cap.
Me too. But every day is a big day when we're here.
For sure.
So, But hey, man, listen. We're glad you're here. Today we are going to be reading. If you're wondering what we do around here, we read. If this is your first time around here, you missed about 11 episodes. You should go back and watch those.
Sure.
We are today going to start in Genesis chapter 33. And what a blessing that is. I'm excited, man. We should we tell them? I'm going to be honest, right? We're honest people here. We don't do none of that dishonesty. We didn't record last week. I was on a little mini vacation.
Mini trip.
Had to go visit the parents. Give them a little hug and a kiss. Say hi.
Always good to do that.
It's been a while, so we did that. So we didn't record last week, and I was like, man, missed our recording. I was a little bummed about it, but I knew this week for sure we're gonna get back on it. And yeah, man, we're excited to be here as always. We're glad you guys are here for the 50th time. You guys are probably like, hey, man, you say the same thing 30 times. Hey, you can only say the truth one way.
Right.
You know what I mean? 2 + 2 is 4. You know what I mean? You can only say it one way. So, and hey, I'm just excited you guys are here. I mean it. I mean it. I'm actually, sure. I mean it, man. I'm glad you guys are here. And we hope that you're glad we're here. If not, too bad. We're going to be here anyways. You know what I mean?
And we hope you've been catching up with the episodes.
Yeah.
Because we're far already. And you're not going to understand anything if you don't get to from the first one all the way through here. It's important to have the sequence so you can have like the good trend of thought, so you can, go with us, and also verifying our words in the scriptures, not taking our words for it. 100%. And you're not going to be able to do that if you don't have the context, because as we have been yapping about the past 11 episodes, context is king, and a text taken out of context is developed into a pretext. So get your scriptures and come with us. Let's read it together.
You might be asking, well, if you guys are reading, I want to read too. That's great. I'm going to put the scriptures up for us. But you're like, but Yoshi, I like to have the scriptures in my hands. And get your scriptures. But I don't have the exact version you guys have.
Well, that's easy to solve.
100%. But Nehemiah, Yoshi, I don't have the money right now. I just paid my rent. I just got some Chick-fil-A. I spent all my money on Uber Eats. How do I read the same version you're reading, Yoshi, if I just spent all my money on love apples that I ordered through Uber Eats?
First of all, stop smoking weed.
I said love apples, bro. I ain't saying nothing about weed, dog.
Because for you to be ordering love apples on DoorDash or Uber Eats, you need to be in the munchies. With the munchies or on the munchies. I don't know the preposition for that. But RSTNE.com, it is for free.
Oh, it's free.
The scriptures we read are free online. Because Shaliach Moshe walks by faith and not by sight. So we're not afraid of anything. We want everybody to be with us reading the same scripture so we have one mind, not to be the same. We're not preaching sameness, but we are preaching unity. So
Amen.
we need to have the best possible quality version of the word of Yahuwah, and we admit we don't have the full revelation of it because nobody has. Only Yahusha has it completely, like the originals and the autographs and everything. But people like Sholiach Moshe and his wives and everybody that has been working with the RSTNE has been putting the work in. So we have the best possible compilation with the resources available nowadays. So it is for free. You have no more excuses. RSTNE.com.
.com. It's free, boys and girls. So, and I'll leave it alone after this, but I do have to ask. So, if since it's free, Yoshi, I can then spend all my money on Love Apples, is what you're saying. That's like
No.
essentially what you're saying.
I mean, you can again. If you take my words out of context, you're going to develop into a love apple buying pretext. So enjoy our love apples, with moderation. Let your
Mm,
moderation be known to
okay.
all men. So you can buy love apples, you can buy Gucci bags, you can buy Gucci flip flops, you can buy fans. Not all on love apples. May not be
Okay.
the right choice. You can
Okay.
get some nuggets.
Nuggets as we get nuggets and we share those nuggets. A lot of nuggets going around. Um.
You know,
Now
free
we're
nuggets.
talking. Now we're
Yep.
cooking. Now we're cooking.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, no lollygagging, man. People come here because they want seriousness. They don't want to see no jokes. They don't want to see us have fun, Yoshi. They don't want to see us do nothing but be serious and read the word. So you know what? We're gonna take care of you guys. We're gonna put this
All
up
right.
right here on the
Just for today. Just for
screen, man. Right here. Look at that. Look at that. 33. I got it pulled up right to the spot. I did have to work for you guys here, man. So you're welcome.
what don't we do
Um,
for you?
once again, I don't remember who reads.
This time, me neither.
Okay.
Normally, I'm the
Uh,
brains behind that part, but I don't remember. Let's
I
do you. You're a better reader than I am.
okay, debatable. But we'll pick up right here, gentlemen and ladies, and we hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into this. Genesis 33. And Yaakov lifted up his eyes and look, and see Esav, the big, hairy redhead, um, came and with him 400 men. He divided the children to Leah and to Rachel and to the two handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children in front of Leah, and her children after them, and Rachel and Joseph in the back. And he passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. What a beautiful reunion.
Yep.
And Esau lifted up his eyes and saw the women and the children and said, Who are those with you? And Yaakov said, The children that Elohim has by his unmerited favor given to your servant. Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near with Rachel, and they bowed themselves. And he said, What do you mean by all this company that I met? And Yaakov said, These are to find chen, favor in the sight of my master. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself. And Yaakov said, No, please. If now I have found favor in your sight, then receive my present from my hand, because I see your face towards me as though I had seen the face of Elohim, and you were pleased with me. Please take my bracha, my blessing, that is brought to you, because Elohim has dealt with me through unmerited favor, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and Esau took it. And he said, Let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before you. And he said to him, My master knows that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with young are with me. And if men should override them, or overdrive them, one day all the flock will die. Please let my master pass over before his servant, and I will journey on gently, according to the pace of the cattle that goes before me, and the pace that the children are able to endure, until I come to my master to sire. And Esau said, Let me now leave with you some of the folks that are with me. And Yaakov said, What need do I have for them? Let me find favor in the sight of my master. So Esau returned that day on his way to Seir, and Yaakov journeyed to Sukkot to build himself a bayit and made booths for his cattle. Therefore, the name of that place is called Sukkot.
Sukkot in Hebrew means tents or booths.
18. And Yaakov came intact and healed to a city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, where he came from Padan Aram and camped his tent before the city. And he brought a parcel of a field where he had spread his tents at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's Abba, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar and called it Al Elohai Israel.
Go back to verse 18.
18.
Check this out. And Yaakov came intact and healed. But when he wrestled with Elohayim, didn't he have his hip taken out of socket?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that little thing, got back to its own, natural place? Or this is talking about different healing here? Because that sentence is too specific.
I think it'd be maybe it could be both. I mean, we don't know how much time that journey took, but I would assume if he's traveling, it's probably going to take wear and tear on his body, so maybe not physical, but it could be a healing of the ruach, right, of the spirit.
Right.
Because if we think about it, what was happening before this whole encounter with Esau? This guy was thinking his brother was about to come and freaking murder him, basically. So he was probably an emotional wreck. And then he comes pleasantly surprised that when he encounters Esau, they both embrace each other, and it's as if all those things that he was worried about, the perceptions, weren't actually a problem in the first place, because Esau received him as if he was a brother, as if everything that happened before he left, after Isaac died, and he took the inheritance, they was ready to throw hands. You know what I mean? He was going bananas, and his mom's like, "Yo, you gotta skedaddle, because your brother's over here trying to crash out." And
I was ready to put his mittens upon you.
yeah, he's trying to throw fisticuffs, you know what I mean? And so I would probably lean towards like an emotional healing, a spiritual healing of that reconciliation he had with his brother. And not only did they reconcile, but also like it wasn't just like, no, we good, but it was also there was love there. Like Esau greeted him. He didn't even want to take his gifts. He's like, no, like, dude, we met, we're good. Like, let me give you some of mine. No, take some of mine. It's like one of those situations. Like, let me pay. Now let me pay. I got you. So
again, a millionaire discussion.
Yeah. It was like arguing about whose yacht to take, and so it seems like the reconciliation it healed his spirit,
Right.
because even if he had got away from Esau. And maybe, let's say Esau came and there was still animosity there and he somehow escaped. You're going to live with that fear of like, what if, okay, I come over here. What if he follows me here and he finds me? He's still on that war path. So, yeah, came intact and healed to the city of Shechem. Yeah, I would probably lean towards that.
Right. Because now I'm not fully remembering if when Yaakov strives and becomes Yasrachal with the Malach of Yahuwah, I don't remember if it said there that he limped his whole the rest of his life. Probably it did. I don't remember precisely, but that makes more sense what you said about the emotional healing.
Maybe we get more details in Jubilees.
For sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe you'd say some more details there. That's a good question.
Let's go, chapter 34.
Let's do it.
And this is a warning for my sisters out there, for you ladies. Pay attention to this whole ordeal that's going to happen with the lady called Dinah. Genesis 34. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she bore to Yaakov, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. And his being did cleave to Dinah, the daughter of Yaakov, and he loved the young girl and spoke kindly to the young girl. So this was not a forceful laying with her and defiling her. This was consensual because he spoke kindly to her, he loved her, and we don't have any bad response from her. Like she didn't say, "Oh, why are you doing that to me?" She didn't scream. She didn't, feels like consensual to me. And he was a prince. He was, captivating, charismatic.
Yeah. He probably had some love apples leading up to this. You know what I mean? But This is, in my view, so far from what we read, this is like the equivalent of today what we call shacking up.
Right.
And she was not defiled by the mere act of sleeping with each other, but they were sleeping with each other outside of covenant. They put the cart before the horse, and maybe they were deeply and madly in love, and they were the perfect match for each other, but because of their own lust, they put the cart before the horse, and they consummated before there was even a marriage to consummate.
Right.
And this is the equivalent of today shacking up, and you get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and hey, we love each other. I know their parents, they know mine. Let's just move in together and let's give each other husband and wife privileges without actually being husband and wife.
And let's go back to verse 1. What prompted this whole thing? She went out to see the daughters of the land. In other words, she was looking for friends her own age, because all these religious fanatics of my family, they don't get me, as all teenagers say. And I've been a teenager. I know what I'm talking about, Nehemiah too. We all had the emo Blink 182 face. Everybody had. And it's all the same thing. We look for people that we relate to. And normally we don't get surrounded by good influences.
Yeah.
And this was not different. Basically, she went to the club. She found some of her girls there. And out of a sudden, she saw this rich prince, this rich Middle Eastern prince, little sheikh from Qatar. And he took her home. He gave her some perfumes, and boom, she's defiled. And let's see what happens afterwards. So, verse 4. And Shechem spoke to his father Hamor, saying, "Get me this young girl to be my wife." And Yaakov heard that this dude had defiled his daughter Dinah. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Yaakov held his silence until they had come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to Yaakov to commune with him. And the sons of Yaakov came out of the field when they heard it. And the men were grieved, and they were very angry, because he had done folly in Yasrachal in lying with Yaakov's daughter, which thing should not be done, because of what Nehemiah just said. First, you need to have a marriage to consummate before consummating anything. And this is not done in our people, because the fathers get together. The fathers get together. They decide, because they know you better than yourselves, because they saw you before you were born. And once you are born, they are with you, following your development, especially the spiritual development. For instance, my earthly father passed away, but I have a father figure in Sholiach Moshe, and he has been overseeing my spiritual development. And once it got to my time to get married, possibly, I went to him. And I'm married now because it worked. We followed through the process. Nobody was defiled. Nobody was, being a father or mother out of wedlock. Nobody was deceived with their heart broken. No, we are happily married. And thanks be to Yahuwah in this process that is being discussed here. These guys didn't do any of this. And besides that, this dude was not even a follower of Yahuwah. He was a pagan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even worse, because now you are shacking up with all his demons.
Mm-hmm.
And people normally don't remember that part. You, and shout out Coach Lang, you become the company you keep. If you are keeping company with a pagan in your house, how long will it take for you to become one of them? This is why don't get a daughter of the Canaanites for my son. That's not going to be nice. Those were the words of Abraham, and then those were the words of Isaac. That's not supposed to happen. We are supposed to be equally yoked. Because if you have two oxen, or like one oxen and a donkey, one is way stronger than the other. They're not going to go on the right way. They are going to be all twisted and turned, and the donkey's probably going to die, stumped to death. So unequally yoking is a serious problem, especially in our young community. I
Right.
mean, early 30s, late 20s, and everything. This happens way too much.
Yeah.
And
It's
now
normalized.
but basically, this is bulldozing youth. This is destroying our future, because we are shacking up with people we're not supposed to. And that plays a major part in our lives because this is one of the most serious decisions we'll ever make in our lives. It is supposed to be forever, of course. We have, skyrocketing rates of divorce, but when it lasts, the consequences of it, either both good and bad, last also. So verse 7 again.
And just to kind of touch on one little thing here, and you may not notice this at just face value of reading the text, but to be very clear, uh, Dinah has made a grave mistake, and she's made a mess. Not just her. I'm not just blaming her. It's also what's his name, the other guy the prince that the
Shechem.
Shechem that she slept with. They both have made a major mess. So what's now happening here is you see Yaakov and Hamor, they're coming together as the patriarchs to try to clean up this mess. You know what I mean? Because it's like everybody, as pagan as they are, even Hamor understands that they both made a mess here. Because if it wasn't, he wouldn't be going out of his way to commune with Yaakov and say like, look, hey, my son messed up here. He's ate some love apples. He got a little ahead of himself. Dina, she's an attractive lady. Maybe she ate some too, and they just kind of made a mess here. Let's try to make this right. And that's what a lot of people do is they shack up with somebody. They don't do any kind of they don't cross any T's or dot any I's and do any kind of work to make sure that the person they're joining themselves to is worth joining themselves. They create a mess. They have 3 kids with an unworthy man who doesn't want to be there, doesn't want to be a father. Or you get a woman pregnant with 3 kids who doesn't want to be a mother, who just wants to take from you. You make a mess, and then you want to go find someone else to come clean up your mess. When all of this could have been prevented if you just started thinking with the right head as a man, and use some wisdom and let Yahuwah decide for you through your leaders, through the people in your life, with you also obviously having a say with wisdom, so, and like we're going to find out here, we're going to see how this leads and how this becomes a mess that you can't really clean up, that there is lasting effects. Even if you mop some of it up, there's still dust in the corners, there's still dust bunnies kind of bouncing around, and that's an understatement for what ends up happening.
Yep. Verse 7 once again. And the sons of Yaakov came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very angry because he had done folly in Yasrachal and lying with Yaakov's daughter, which thing should not be done. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the being of my son Shechem is stupid, but he longs for your daughter. Please give her to him to be his wife. So here we have the father. Let them marry at least. They already did it. So let's try to put some sense into this mess.
Yeah.
And make many marriages with us, and give your daughters to us, and take our daughters to you. So let's make an alliance. It started in wrong foot, but let's try to make this happen. And you shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade in it, and get possessions in it. And Shechem said to her father, to her brothers, let me find favor in your eyes, and what you shall say to me, I will give it. Ask me much dowry in gift, and I will give it according as you shall tell me. But give me the young girl to be my Isha. And the sons of Yaakov answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said to them, we cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that has not performed the circumcision in the flesh. For that would be a reproach to us, because of the Abrahamic promise and covenant. But in this request, we will consent to you, if you will be as we are, that every male of yours perform circumcision, brit milah. Then will we give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we shall become one people. But if you will not listen to us to perform the circumcision, then we will take our daughter, and we'll be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. And the young man did not hesitate to perform circumcision, because he delighted in Yaakov's daughter. And he was more honorable than all in the house of his father. So technically, according even to this dude was going even against their custom, the pagans' custom. He just jumped the gun because he fell madly in love. 20. And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came to the gate of their city and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are in shalom with us in peace. Therefore, let them dwell in the land and trade in it. For look at the land. It is large enough for them also. Let us take their daughters to us and for our wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only in this manner will the men consent to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us performs circumcision, as they are circumcision. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs become ours? Only let us consent to them, and they will dwell with us. And to Hamor and to Shechem his son listened all that went out of the gate of his city. And every male performed circumcision, including all that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when the men were still sore, that the two of the sons of Jacob, Shimon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and killed all the males. So a comment here. The actions of Shimon and Levi don't justify. They are not justifiable by what happened to their sister. This genocide is not an excuse. What happened to her is not an excuse to commit genocide. They went way too far with this. But their sister, knowing that she grew up with two monsters, should have known that she was about to light a flame. So her actions kind of tumbled down and created this whole domino effect. Of course, it was not her fault that these two crazy dudes killed everybody, but her actions prompted their reaction. So what they did is not to be confused with a righteous act, because they didn't do the right thing. They were not supposed to kill everybody, especially since they gave them like a requirement, if fulfilled, to create an alliance. So they lied in the process. So they were not doing the right thing.
They broke covenant.
But yeah, they broke covenant. But Dinah's foolishness is what started this whole thing. What was her foolishness? To go see the daughters of the land, to be attracted by the pagan ways and everything that is shiny that they can provide. Then she saw somebody that she fell in love with, probably, and out of a sudden, a whole people is dead. Her two brothers became assassins, and she was not a virgin anymore. Was violated by a corpse now. So your actions matter a lot, and the sexual immorality is something that is like fundamental to long-lasting problems in your life. If you cannot keep your pants on, you're not going to reap good things. Normally, sexual immorality is the main gate through which Satan enters both feet at the same time, because this is a gigantic door that every human has a proclivity to opening, because we are sexual beings. We want to reproduce. This is wired in us. The issue is how to do it properly. Don't just go do it as a lion would. Calm down. Be planted. Grow up around your elders. Ask questions and obey. Be obedient. This way, your actions will not provoke the consequential actions of two serial killers, as we see here. Two, unbalanced human beings.
Yeah. And this is as you guys can see, this is a mess all around. And Shimon and Lewi, in my opinion, are these guys are cooked. One, because if you really think about it, this whole city was willing to come under the covering of Yahuwah. They're willing to circumcise themselves. They were willing to be the tail and not the head. And they said, you know what? They see all the blessings that is under this house. They say, you know what? This guy messed up. He wants to marry this woman. But like, hey, we're going to win at the end of the day. We're going to be under Yahuwah. How serious were they? Well, serious enough to go do circumcision. Because if it was a big problem, not many dudes out here are just going to go circumcise themselves for a woman. You know what I mean? So they came into covenant. They broke that covenant. And also, too, this is a prime example of unequal weights and measures, because this wasn't a situation of Dinah being forced against her will. She voluntarily did her part in the defilement of herself. So she is just as culpable as Shechem was. So really, at the end of the day, and this might be a controversial take here, Dina deserved the same fate as Shechem because she was as an equal contributor into the defilement process because she did it
Right.
willingly. Um, and it's even more shameful because they were willing to make things right. And they said, you know what? They acknowledged, they repented. They say, hey, obviously something went wrong here. Even Shechem says, look, I guess we got, we ate too many love apples that day. Things got out of hand. The fire, the stars were out. We were making some s'mores, and
Wine.
some wine happened, some things happened. I fell in. Whatever the excuse you want to give. But they were willing to make it right. They're willing to repent, and not only that, they're willing to come under the covering of Yahuwah and do a full repentance. And then how do these guys react? They go and they slaughter everybody. So it's just a disaster all around. Now, does that
Yep.
mean that if you go and have sex outside of covenant that your whole family's going to be slaughtered? No, probably not. But a lot of you dudes, you need to be careful who you're sleeping around with because you never know. Some ladies got a crazy dad. Like you slept with my daughter, now I'm gonna shoot you. Like that. Hey, it happens. It sounds crazy, but it happens. You know what I mean? So, long story short, you should only be sleeping with someone you're married to, man or woman.
Right.
And now we live in a culture where men think that they're somehow absolved of that responsibility, that because by nature of you being a man, you can just sleep around with anybody and there's no consequences. And that's a freaking lie. Whoever told you that lied to your face. And if that's your friend who told you that, it shouldn't be your friend because they're lying to your face. You are just as responsible for who you sleep with as a woman. And this whole idea that women are dirtier than men because they have a bunch of bodies and you're a man, and that you think that it exalts you by having a bunch of bodies outside of covenant, you're lying to yourself. You've traded in the sweet for the bitter and the good for the evil. So you need to get your head on straight and realize that you're no better just by nature of you being a man. You need to be in covenant with whoever you sleep with.
Right. And always have that last point about this. Always have that in your mind. If you go to a dealership, to a Chevrolet dealership, and you get one of them pickup trucks to test drive it, and you just go home without paying it, in your constitution, that would be considered theft. Why do you do the same with women? You take them home, they're not yours. You do what you have to do. They leave out the door in the morning, and no consequences are attached. That doesn't fly with Yahuwah. What we're trying to say is become a man, not a sexual toy. And you women, the same. You're not less culpable because you are women. Responsibility goes both ways. 26. And they killed Hamor and Shechem, his son, with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out. The sons of Yaakov came upon the slain and plundered the city because they had defiled their sister. So we have a bunch of crimes here. 28. They
It's just
took
a
their
mess.
sheep. What?
It's just a mess.
Man. They took their sheep and their oxen and their donkeys and that which was in the city and that which was in the field and all their wealth and all their little ones and their wives they took captive and plundered even all that was in the house. Don't let FBI read this chapter. It's going to be a whole bunch of condemnations. And Yaakov said to Shimon and Levi, "You have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And I, being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and kill me, and I shall be destroyed. I am also called by it Yasrachal, of the whole house of Yasrachal." And they said to Yaakov, "Should he deal with our sister as with a harlot?" I
You
mean,
might be, and hey, just to think one act of sexual immorality led to all this, and it sounds like an extreme example, but I think the moral of the story here, or the account is, your actions have consequences, and even if you don't see those consequences uh, exemplified immediately in the moment, in the long term, there will be
but
consequences for your action.
But that might as well happen. Let's say you are a Mexican man in Mexico City, and you sleep with a girl that you fell in love with, and all of a sudden she's the daughter of one of the cartel leaders. That's gonna happen to you.
Yeah,
Your whole family is gonna be dead, and you're the culprit,
couldn't be me.
not you.
Couldn't
You
be
know
me.
the general,
No, I'm
everybody
just
else.
saying though. Yeah, couldn't be me. I ain't gonna catch me slipping like that. Hopefully, 35 has a much more positive outlook. Let's find out. Let's find out.
Well, let's just recap. We had an account of sexual immorality between weird, stupid teenagers. We had a covenant that was broken upon a promise that never happened. We had uh, murder on the first, second, third, fourth account. We had theft. We had kidnapping. And then all this in the excuse that, no, we had to do that because they dealt with my sister as a harlot, despite the fact that she went there first. Okay, got you. All right.
Maybe they bake some pies in chapter 35. Things get better. Let's find
go
out.
for a horse ride or something like
Yeah,
that.
let's see. And Elohim said to Yaakov, Arise and go up to Bethel, and dwell there and make there an altar to Al, that appeared to you when you fled from the face of Esau, your brother. Then Yaakov said to his household, to all that were with him, Put away the strange Allahim that are among you, and be clean and change your garments. Excuse me. And let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar to Al, who answers me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the direct which I went. And they gave to Yaakov all the strange Allahim that were in their hands, and all their earrings that were in their ears. And Yaakov hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. And they journeyed, and the terror of Elohim was upon the cities that were around them, so that they did not pursue the sons of Yaakov. So, just to make this clear, they made such a big mess that Yahuwah himself had to intervene just to preserve these people. That is how that one act of sexual immorality. It sounds crazy, but in this account, that one act of sexual, it wasn't even like it was a rape. It wasn't even like it was, anything crazy. It
This
was
was just a one nighter. That's it.
yeah. This was, and they wanted to make it right, but this all unfolded into a disaster, and Yahuwah had to be like, all right, you guys gotta get out of here. Now I gotta instill fear on these people so they don't slaughter you on the way. So keep that in mind. And they journeyed, and the terror 5. And they journeyed, and the terror of Elohim was upon the cities that were around them, so they did not pursue the sons of Yaakov. So Yaakov came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan, that is Bethel, he and all the people that were with him. And he built there an altar and called the place Al Bethel, because there Elohim appeared to him when he fled from the face of his brother. But Devorah, Rivka's nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel under an oak, and the name of it was called Alon Bachuth. And Elohim appeared to Yaakov again when he came out of Padan Aram and blessed him. And Elohim said to him, Your name is Yaakov. Your name shall not be called Yaakov shall not be called Yaakov anymore, but Israel shall be your name. And he called him Israel. And Elohim said to him, I am Yahuwah, Al Shaddai, be fruitful and multiply. A nation, Goy, and a Kehillah of Goyim, Kahal Goyim, shall come from you, and Melechim shall come out of your loins. And the land that I gave Abraham and Yitzhak to you, I will give it and to your seed after you will I give the land. And Elohim went up from him in the place where he talked with him. And Yaakov set up a pillar in the place where he talked with him, even a pillar of stone. And he poured a drink offering on it, and he poured oil on it. And Yaakov called the name of that place where Elohim spoke to him, Bethel. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was just a little direct to go to Ephrath. And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. And it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, that the midwife said to her, Fear not, you shall have this son also. And it came to pass, as her life was leaving, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his Abba called him Benjamin. It's not funny, but it's kind of messed up. Like, she's dying in childbirth, and she's like, I'm going to name you Ben-Ami, or Benoni. And Yaakov was like, Vito, we're going to call him Benjamin. You know what I
The
mean?
the kind of not funny but ironic is that she named him like the son of my sorrow, and then he said, "Nah, he just be the son of days. Chill out."
Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. 19. And Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. And Yaakov set a pillar upon her grave. That that is the pillar of Rachel's grave to this day. Israel journeyed and spread his tent beyond the tower of Edar. And it came to pass when Israel dwelt in that land that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his Abba's concubine. Brother, these people cannot get the message, man.
I don't understand
This
that.
is one thing after, bro. Keep it in your pants.
Keeping your toga or whatever they were dressing up like that time.
This is getting shameless at this point, you know.
Yeah. And what is Yaakov like? Just slap somebody out. I don't know, cuss them out. And,
Some, bro. Put the mitts on, bro. Put the mitts on.
yeah, just
You know what it is? It's the freaking love apples, bro. This whole is me. Is on me. That's on me. I've been talking about love apples. Everyone over here is eating love apples. They're sleeping with their father's concubines. They're sleeping with strangers in a foreign land.
you are convincing the people in the text, bro.
My bad, bro. That's
You
on
are
me.
twisting their mind. Yaakov needs to put his paws on somebody.
Somebody, dude. He needs to stand on business.
Somebody needs to be slapped.
It's getting ridiculous.
It's kind of weird. What's next? They're gonna sleep with a zebra?
I wouldn't be surprised. And it came to pass, 22 again, when Yisrael dwelt in the land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his Abba's concubine, and Yisrael heard of it. Now the son of Yaakov were 12. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Yaakov's Bachor, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yissachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Yosef and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Yaakov who were born to him in Padan Aram. And Yaakov came to Yitzhak his Abba at Mamre, to the city of Arba, which is Hebron, where Abraham and Yitzhak sojourned. And the Yamim of Yitzhak were 180 years. And Yitzhak gave up the Ruach and died, and was gathered to his people, being old and full of days. And his sons Esav and Yaakov buried him.
So at this point, we have a full truce between Esav and Yaakov. They even got together to bury their father. That's nice. That's forgiveness.
Yep.
We know by the book of Jubilees that Esav, screwed everything up afterwards and had his sons kill everybody and war broke out. But at least up to this point, they were good.
It was nice while it lasted.
Yeah. Very short and sweet period. 36. Now these are the generations of Esav, who is Adom. Esav took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, and Aholivama, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Ziveon, the Hivite. Against what his father told him, don't get your ass to Canaan, don't get no Canaanites up in my house, but he did it twice. And Bashemat, Yishmael's daughter, sister of Nevayot. And Adah bore to Esav Eliphaz, and Bashemat bore Reuel. And Aholivama bore Yeush and Yaalam and Korach. These are the sons of Esav, which were born to him in the land of Canaan. And Esav took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house, and his cattle and all his beasts and all his substance that he had gotten in the land of Canaan, and went into the country away from the face of his brother Yaakov, for their riches were more than what would allow them to dwell together. And the land in which they were Gerim, strangers, could not bear them both because of their cattle. So Esav dwelt in Har Seir. Esav is Adom. And a lot of people say, oh, the white man is Adom, the black man is Adom. No, this dude was Adom. Y'all need to chill out. Calm down, relax. There was one dude called Adom, and that is this dude here. Stop labeling everybody. That was one person. He was father of the Edomites. But don't nobody know who they are nowadays. Unless you are a 3,000-year-old person with the records of the Second Temple. So chill out. Stop being racist. And if you want to be, just be clear about it. Don't be giving excuses. You can be stupid if you want. There is no cure for stupid. But don't put wrong names onto it to justify your crooked behavior. Verse 9. And these are the generations of Esav, the father of the Edomites in Har Seir. These are the names of Esav's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the Isha of Esav; Reuel, the son of Bashemat, the Isha of Esav. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenas. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esav's son, and she bore to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esav's wife. And these are the sons of Reuel, Nahat, and Zerach, Shammah, and Mizah. These are the sons of Bashemat, Esav's wife. And these were the sons of Aholivama, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Ziveon, Esav's wife. And she bore to Esav Yeush and Yaalam and Korach. These were the chiefs of the sons of Esav, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esav. Chief Teman, Chief Omar, Chief Zepho, Chief Kenas, Chief Korach, Chief Gatan, and Chief Amalek. These are the chiefs that came on of Eliphaz in the land of Adom. These were the sons of Ada. And these are the sons of Reuel, Esav's son, Chief Nahat, Chief Zerach, Chief Shammah, Chief Mizah. These are the chiefs that came from Reuel in the land of Adom. These are the sons of Bashemat, Esav's wife. And these are the sons of Aholivama, Esav's wife, Chief Yeush, Chief Ya'alam, Chief Korach. These were the chiefs that came from Aholivama, the daughters of Anna, Esav's wife. These are the sons of Esav, who is Adom, and these are their chiefs. These are the sons of Seir the Horite, who inhabited the land, Lotan and Shoval, and Ziveon and Anna, and Dishon and Ezer and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. And the children of Lotan were Hori and Hema, and Lotan's sister was Timnah. And the children of Shoval were these, Alvan and Manachat and Eval and Shepho and Onam. And these are the children of Ziveon, both Ayah and Anna. This was the Anna that found the mules in the wilderness as he fed the donkeys of Ziveon his father. And the children of Anna were these, Dishon and Aholivama, the daughter of Anna. And these are the children of Dishon, Hemdan and Eshvan and Ithran and Cheran. The children of Ezer are these, Bilchan and Zaavan and Akan. The children of Dishan are these, Uz and Aran. These are the chiefs that came from the Horites, Chief Lotan, Chief Shoval, Chief Ziveon, and Chief Anna. Chief Dishon, Chief Ezer, and Chief Dishan. These are the chiefs that came from the Horites among their chiefs in the land of Seir. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Yasrachal. So the point is, this whole lineage is to say that Yahuwah didn't abandon Esav. Despite the fact that he was not the chosen of the two twins, Yahuwah never he never hated him. He just said, you're going to be far away from me, but I'm not going to destroy you. This is for you to say, this is for you that say that Yahuwah hates as we do. He doesn't. When it was written that Yahuwah loved Yaakov, but he abhorred Esav, that abhorred word is shalach. He put away Esav. He didn't want Esav near to him because Yaakov was his focus. But that is not to say that Esav's land is ours. No, it's not. The Mount Seir region is Adom's. It's not ours. Our land is called on our name. That is called on Yahuwah's name, Yasrachal, with its capital being Yerushalayim. So there, if you go solely by scripture, you don't have this problem of territory fighting. You don't have this problem of whose land this is. Yahuwah basically gave the boundaries. He gave the limitations. He gave the political divisions. We don't need to do nothing. But with our crazy, stubborn human head, we choose to do infighting and political wars and sending teenagers to war while the people in suits are not doing anything but smoking cigars. That's not fair. But if you want to be very technical, the scriptures tell what land belongs to who. Just to be very sure. Adom was never destroyed by Yahuwah. Rather, he was given the Mount of Seir. And this is why we have the generation here. Not to be confused with the generation that birthed the Messiah afterwards that came through Yaakov. And this is for those of you Muslims that say that Ishmael or Ismail is as son of Abraham as Isaac was. Wrong. Isaac was the children of promise. You can go in the Quran and see that. Just be mindful of this. Isaac was the chosen son through which the Messiah Yahusha, or Yisa as you know him, would come eventually. So Ishmael and Adom are not the chosen people. So the land of Yasrachal does not belong to the Aravim or to the Philistines or anything. The land of Yasrachal belongs to the people of Yasrachal. Get your genealogy straight and don't debate over them. The renewed covenant says, don't waste your time with endless genealogies that profit nothing. Just take it or leave it. With Yahuwah, you don't debate. Either you accept it or you move on with your life and stop wasting his time.
And also too, if you think about it, even like what comes to mind is Romans 12. What does it say? Vengeance is mine, saith Yahuwah. Even in the case of Esau, right? Uh, you could argue that he has a right to be upset. I mean, in a lot of ways, the inheritance was his, even though he freely gave it up over a pot of lentils. If I'm gonna give up my inheritance, it's got to be for love apples, something of more value. You might be asking Nehemiah, how do you find a way to bring love apples into everything? I got a pretty creative mind.
He's a lovely dude. That's why.
Hey, the point I'm trying to make is there is some kind of claim to make that, like, yeah, Esau has a right to be upset. Um, but what is the reason for all this? Is because Esau has this attachment to the flesh, literally and spiritually. Because literally, in the sense that that inheritance was by nature, because he was a firstborn, his. So he has attachment to that flesh, but also in the spiritual aspect that, look, at the end of the day, if you're done wrong, right? And I'm not saying there's always extreme situations, right? If your back is against the wall, you have a right to defend yourself. But in this case, if Esau would have just if there was a wrongdoing to be done, the right thing to do is to leave that vengeance to Yahuwah, for Yahuwah will make right in every situation. And you see Yahuwah doing this too. Look, he didn't get the inheritance that he perceived to be his, whether he has a valid claim to that or not. But Yahuwah was not going to abandon him. He gave him his own region. He gave him a whole lineage, and he to a degree counted it enough to put him in the scriptures for all of eternity. So
Right?
if he would have just left it to Yahuwah and gone about his business, you know, it seems to me like he was highly favored, because when he met um, Yaakov in the wilderness, like, it's not like he was broke. You know what I mean? He had wealth, he had money, he had sheep, he had cattle, he had men, he had servants. So it's not like he was doing bad for himself. But it was that attachment to what he perceived to be his and not letting it go and trying to take vengeance into his own hands that led to the initial to the demise that eventually befell, like Yoshi mentioned in Jubilees, because he couldn't let go. He felt like he needed to be the one to seek vengeance and avenge what he felt was done, the wrong that was done to him.
He never
So
fully forgave.
never fully forgave. So now you might be asking, how does that attach to today? Okay, well, just change the situation to a situation in your life. Okay, someone has done you wrong. Sure, you can go out of your way and try to go get revenge, but leave it to Yahuwah. Leave it to Yahuwah. Why spend your time and waste your energy? I'm not saying that if you're threatened or you're in a position where your life is in jeopardy that you don't have a right to fight back. But in this case, Esau should let this go, taking what Yahuwah gave him because it was enough, and let bygones be bygone and live the rest of his life in peace. But because of his attachment to the flesh, his attachment to this, it just created more problems. So you gotta learn to let go of things, and just move on, man. It
And
ain't worth
even it is even written here, 31. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Adom before any king stepped foot over the children of Yisrael. So he was highly favored. He had a full government happening before our people were established, like as a people, as a nation in the place. So just this dude didn't forget. 32. And Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Adom, and the name of the city was Dinjava. And Bela died, and Yovav, the son of Zerach of Bozrah, reigned in his place. And Yovav died, and Husham of the land of Temani reigned in his place. And Husham died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who smote Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his place. And the name of his city was Avit. And Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his place. And Samlah died, and Shaul of Rehovot by the river reigned in his place. And Shaul died, and Baal Hanan, the son of Achbor, reigned in his place. And Baal Hanan, the son of Achbor, died, and Hadar reigned in his place. And the name of the city was Pau. And his Isha's name was Mehethavel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahav. And these are the names of the chiefs that came from Ezav, according to their families, after their places, by their names: Chief Timnah, Chief Alva, Chief Yethet, Chief Aholivama, Chief Elah, Chief Pinon, Chief Kenas, Chief Teman, Chief Mivzash, Chief Magdiel, Chief Iram. These are the chiefs of Adom, according to their dwellings in the land of their possession. He is Asaph, the father of the Edomites.
Wow, that was a lot of Chiefs.
Tongue twister, that's what I call it.
Yeah. Hey, man, glad you're here once again. And we're glad you stuck around.
Right.
We hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it, Yah willing. And we always enjoy sharing with you guys and partaking. And make sure you guys like, you comment, you subscribe, share it on all the social media, share it with a friend, a cousin, your Uncle Becky, whoever, dude. I don't care who it is. Share it, get it out there. And that really helps us out. And it's going to help, Yah willing, whoever you share it with. Maybe they get some insights, and maybe this is a way that they get led to Yahusha. Because at the end of the day, that's really what the goal and the main focus of this project we have in this podcast and this channel. So, Yoshi, you got anything for the peeps?
Just put this in front of every teenager you know, everybody that you know that is looking for truth, that is starting to read their scriptures.
Yeah.
We know you to be the shaft of the spear because we are the head of it. So we are going to do the piercing, but we need you to throw us at people.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that big of a following yet. That needs to still be determined in the future, Yahuwah willing. But that don't mean that you are relieved from your proverbial obligation to help in any way you can. And we thank you for sticking around. We know it's a big episode, and we know that we like to yap a lot about things. But thanks for being with us, and thank you for the support so far in this 12th episode. Shalom,
Yeah.
y'all.
We love you. Shalom, shalom.